In a video never seen publicly today, jurors saw former attorney Alec Murdaugh's third interview with law enforcement, where investigators identified inconsistencies with his timeline on the day of the murders. Nick Neville walks us through the testimony today.
The interview got off to a testy start, with Murdaugh friend and defense attorney Corey Fleming saying he was uncomfortable with SLED agent David Owen, the lead investigator on the case, asking questions of Murdaugh as a suspect. Now, throughout the interview, Owen pointed out multiple inconsistencies that the state has already laid out earlier in this trial. That Alec's voice could be heard at the kennels even though he was adamant that he was never there that night. And also a Snapchat video taken by Paul indicates that Alec had changed clothes. SLED agent David Owen testified that timeline inconsistencies in Alec Murdaugh's third interview were significant developments in the investigation.
Because it wasn't one inconsistency, it was several inconsistencies over a period of time that were repeated.
Owen asks Murdaugh about this Snapchat video, which shows him in different clothes than when law enforcement arrived. Murdaugh appears confused. Owen then asks when Murdaugh changed clothes.
I'm not sure. It would have been...
Before dinner or after dinner?
No, it would have been... What time of day was that? I would have thought I'd already changed. I guess I changed when I got back to the house.
Later, when told by Owen that a friend of Paul's identified Alec's voice in the background of a phone call at the kennels around 9 o'clock, when Murdaugh claims to have been taking a nap, he again denies being at the kennels at all.
Not if my times are right.
Alec says he has no idea whose voice that could have been, but Owen pushes back.
And Rogan's been around your family for pretty much all of his life.
Oh, absolutely.
And he recognizes your voice, and you have a distinct voice.
The interview ends with an exchange where Owen directly asked Murdaugh whether he murdered his wife and son. He denies killing them and says he doesn't know who did.
So does that mean that I am a suspect?
You were still in, like I told Corey earlier, you were still in this. With everything that we've talked about, with the family guns, the ammunition, nobody else's DNA. I have to put my beliefs aside and go with the facts.
On cross-examination, defense attorney Jim Griffin says that law enforcement zeroed in on Murdaugh as a suspect from the get-go and missed opportunities to exclude him. He mentioned how law enforcement did not search the home of Alec's mother in Alameda until several months later. He also mentioned that the clothes Alec was wearing in that Snapchat video, along with the murder weapons, were never recovered. In Walterboro, I'm Nick Neville.
And late this afternoon, Judge Clifton Newman reversed an earlier ruling and said evidence of the September 2021 roadside shooting is admissible. That shooting is when someone shot Murdaugh in an alleged insurance fraud scheme. Judge Newman said the defense opened the door to this by asking a SLED agent about the relationship between Murdaugh and Curtis Eddie Smith.